Hey guys, it is day 2, and today we're going to talk about the costs of Medicare 2022. Don't shoot the messenger. I know that Part B premium skyrocketed from 148 up to 170. Kind of took away from your cost of living adjustment for your Social Security or disability check. So don't shoot the messenger, and let's talk about the costs of Medicare. Hey guys, this is Chris Dewey with May River Medicare in Bluffton, South Carolina. Actually, Old Town Bluffton. So today we're going to talk about the 2022 costs of Medicare, and don't shoot the messenger. I know the Part B premium went up substantially. We're going to get to that in a minute. But for those of you who are new to Medicare, you're like, yay, I got Medicare. Everything's going to be free now. It's kind of upsetting once you realize that although Medicare does pay for most things, you still have coinsurance. They pay 80% of your doctor's visits. You've got a Part A deductible. You've got a monthly Part B premium. We're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about the cost. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your Part A costs. Well, here's the good news. You don't have to pay a premium on your Part A whatsoever as long as you work 10 years. Let's say you or your spouse work 10 years. You guys are both good for Medicare. That's 40 quarters or 10 years. Unfortunately, if you work less than 30 quarters, you got a premium of $4.99 a month. If you worked at least 30 quarters, your Part A premium would be $274. But for the vast majority of you, you have a premium-free Part A. That's your hospital. So your hospital is taken care of when you go in there. Just remember, there is a hospital deductible. A Part A deductible, 2022, it's $1,556. Now that's per benefit period. So let's say you go to the hospital, you're in there 2 days, you pay a $1,556 deductible per benefit period. So let's say you leave the hospital, you're out 60 days. On the 61st day, you go back into the hospital, that benefit period is going to start over. So you're going to pay that $1,556. All right. Okay, guys. So Part B, unlike Part A that doesn't have a premium for most folks that work 10 years or a spouse that has, they're going to deduct a premium every month, a Part B premium, out of your Social Security check. Now, if you're not taking Social Security yet, they're gonna just bill you quarterly. All right. But what I would do if it's a financial hardship and you just want to go month to month, what I would recommend you do is click on the link below this video and learn how to use Easy Pay, where Medicare will just have you, they'll take out the premium right out of your bank account. And the monthly premium is $170. The Part B base premium for 2022, $170.10 per month. But there are some, however, depending on what your income is, if based on how much, the more you make, the more your Part B premium is going to be. For 95% of Americans, you're going to pay $170. But for those that are making more, you're going to pay more. And let's get into it. It's called the income-related monthly adjustment amount. Okay? So what we're looking at, again, $91,000 or more. If you're single, your premium is going to go up. If you're a couple and you make $182,000, your Part B premiums are going to go higher. How much higher? Well, let's take a look. So there are 5 different levels of higher incomes depending on your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years ago. You'll find out what you pay. So here's how this works. The IRS sends your most recent tax return over to Social Security so they can calculate your Part B premiums for the upcoming year. Look it up ahead of time. You want to do this ahead of time. If you're going on Medicare and you're doing this a month or two before, you want to go 3 months out, 4 months out and work on this. And I'm going to include a link. So here's a tip. For those of you who have recently retired and you were earning significantly more 2 years ago than you are now, you don't have to wait for Social Security to catch up with you. You could ask them, you could file a reconsideration request. There's a link right below. You can click on it and get that form. It's a reconsideration request form so that you can ask them to reevaluate your premium based on documentation that you provide on your now lower income since you retired. So the link's below where you can print out the request and take care of that. And the last thing about Part B is there's a Part B deductible. The 2022 deductible is $233. So that's just an annual deductible. It's per year. So when January comes around, you have a new $233 deductible. So now we're going to talk about the cost of Part D as in drugs, your drug plan. And with Part D, you don't just go into Social Security and ask them to enroll you in a Part D plan. What you do with the Part D plans, you're going to use a private insurance company. You're going to shop out all the different Part D drug plans that are offered to you by a private insurance company, like a Humana, Cigna, what have you, all right? So the Part B premium is going to be part of your cost for Part D. And now I've seen Part D silver scripts at $7 a month for a Part D plan. I've seen them as high as $200. All right, it depends on what kind of level of coverage, what kind of drugs you take. Do you take brand names, preferred brand names, generics, preferred generics? There's a lot of different things involved in what the premium's going to be, but like I said, $700 to $200. All right, and the national average, Medicare has established the base average, national average for Part D is $33 a month. All right, so you can just plan on it being right around that thing. But the last thing you want to look at is premium, because when I'm helping folks pick a drug plan, that's really the last thing I look at. If you have a $7 premium, what does it matter if 3 out of your 5 drugs are not even on the drug formulary and they're not covered? So what we want to use is the Plan Finder, the Medicare Plan Finder. I've got some software I use as well that's connected to that. And what we want to do is we want to type in those drugs into the Plan Finder, and then it'll tell us to the penny how much you're going to pay for the year. Breaks it down by month. It's fantastic. I can help you with that. Be happy to do it. All right. Now, so besides your premium, there's also going to be stages in your there are 4 payment stages with a drug plan. What do I mean by that? Your first stage is your deductible stage. Medicare is established in 2022 that the Part D deductible is $480 per year. Now, insurance companies can charge less than that, and you definitely want to try to find a Part D deductible that's less than $480, but that is the most that they can charge you, and a lot of companies do charge a $480 deductible. Sometimes the generics don't count towards that deductible. But again, the deductible can be lower depending on your plan. All right. So what I was saying is you're going to move through 4 stages of spending limits. These stages are based on spending limits throughout the year. And I want to take a look at that real quick. All right. So the first stage we just talked about, that's the deductible. That's what you have to pay before the initial coverage stage. Now, the initial coverage stage, that's where you pay a portion, a copay or coinsurance, and the insurance company pays the bulk of it. All right. Once you spend $4,430, see, you go from the deductible to the initial coverage where you pay a share, the insurance company pays a share. But then once you hit $4,430, that's the retail price of the drugs. Once you've the retail price of the drugs that you've paid for, not what your copay is or it's the actual retail price of the drugs. And if you've spent that much, the retail price, not what you spend, not your share, but just the retail price, once you hit $4,430, you're going to fall into the dreaded coverage gap. All right, so once you spend $4,430, you fall in the coverage gap, and you're going to pay more for your drugs during that stage. Once you spend $7,050, that's the retail price of the drugs, again, you fall into the catastrophic phase, and you will pay no more than 5% of the price of 5% of the cost of your drugs. All right, those are the 4 stages. Okay, guys, and the last cost of Medicare is your Part C costs. Just remember, Part C is otherwise known as an Advantage plan. And no, Joe, say it ain't so, Joe Namath. Everything is not free. Free dental, free back rubs, free pet companions, free this, free groceries. Well, Part C or Advantage plans, this year Medicare set the maximum out of pocket at $7,500. They could go lower. I've seen a Humana plan that's $3,400 maximum out of pocket. Most are $6,700 to $7,500. That's what you'll pay in a year. That's your share. Once you hit $7,500, which is the Medicare, that's the base maximum out of pocket. That's the most advantage plan, Part C, private insurance, privately insurance run plan will cost you per year if you get sick is around $7,500. All right, you're gonna have co-pays for hospital, co-pays for doctor, co-pays for outpatient surgery. They tend to nickel and dime you, and one thing about Medicare Advantage plans, they can really cost you, not so much, obviously with the money, the $7,500 maximum out of pocket, but here's where they've cost and nearly killed some of my clients. Doctor says you need knee surgery or you need a stent put in. Well, the insurance company manages your care now, not original Medicare. You gave up those rights. So what we're finding by the millions per year are denials or pre-authorizations, meaning, we don't really think you need heart surgery. We just need to do some rehab for 6 months and then we'll think about it. Or you need knee surgery, total replacement knee surgery. Nah, we want you to go through 6 months of physical therapy before we approve that. And unless you have an agent like myself, that also is my girlfriend's a disability lawyer, we can appeal that. We know what to do to beat those insurance companies at their own game. So if you have an Advantage plan, you don't have an agent, wow, that's all I can say. Give us a call at 843-227-6725. Our services are free. We're paid separately by the insurance company, just like your house or your car insurance. So don't go it alone. There's no reason to. You want an independent broker licensed with a bunch of different companies. Probably half the agents out there are captive agents. They only work for one company, so it's like a real estate agent. It's only got one house to sell. You want you want to look at that house? No, you can't look at that house. We're only looking at this house because that's the only house I'm allowed to sell. That's what a captive agent is. So just as a side note, you definitely want an independent broker like myself, not a captive agent. So you guys have a great day. Hope the cost of Medicare helped you out a little bit. And enjoy this beautiful day here in Bluffton, South Carolina. This is Chris Dewey signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye. La, la, la.